Okay, so good morning. It's just a short video to look at how we stand, but before, let's just loosen up a little bit. So thinking about all the joints in the body, starting with the toes, the ankles, just rolling them round, rolling the ball of the foot on the floor, which in turn then moves the ankle and the knee, sort of loosening up around the hips. So it doesn't matter what it looks like, just having a bit of a wriggle here in this lower area, moving this around a bit, loosening up the shoulders. So turning the shoulders forwards and backwards, little shake, and then really loosening up the arms, the elbow joints, and then coming down to the wrists and the hands, giving them a bit of a wriggle, thinking about the wrist joints, and then moving the fingers. Great. It's not as cold as it looks. I guess my breath is quite warm this morning. Okay, a little shake out. Shaking out the legs. Great. So the feet, position of the feet should be about hip width apart. So if you think about your hips, you look down at your feet, and that's the sort of distance. And we're looking for a nice parallel position of the feet. So not like this, and not too much like this either. It's that sweet spot in between. So nice and parallel. Imagine your feet on two tram lines, continuing outwards. Okay, and then we think about just loosening the hips again and having nice soft knees. So from the side, our knees aren't locked in, nor are they taking too much pressure in the thighs. We're just that point where they're slightly unlocked, slightly soft. So parallel feet, soft knees. And from there we straighten the spine. So thinking about a lovely straight spine. And the hips, letting the hips sort of hang. We're tucking the tailbone in very slightly, just to flatten the curvature of the lower spine. So just turning in a few millimeters, which at first might feel kind of counterintuitive, but like all things in Qigong, it takes a bit of practice. So this Wuji, our ultimate perfect standing position, we call it Wuji, also takes practice. So the hip loose, and imagining space. So there's lots of stuff moving through here, allowing space for it to move. Okay, and with a few breaths we're going to straighten the spine again. So really imagining the tailbone, coming up the tailbone, all the way up the center of the spine, to the point where the spine meets the head. Relaxing the shoulders. Okay, there's always little fine adjustments that we need to keep doing. Coming back to the feet, the weight on the feet should be fairly evenly distributed, but maybe a little bit more weight on the front part of the foot. Sort of 10-20% more weight on the front part of the foot. And we're looking for transference of weight through the whole body. So the connection between the ground and the foot is quite important. And we're not hoping not to have too much weight on the knees. So we're transferring the weight from the body through the legs, past the knees into the feet. Lovely straight spine, and the shoulders relaxed. So just move the shoulders around a bit. Imagine the shoulder blade just sitting nicely, softly in the back. No tension. And a little bit of space here under the armpit. So enough space for the air to circulate. And we do say enough space for a robin's egg. If you can imagine a robin's egg. Just a little space under the arm. Elbows nice and relaxed. Wrists relaxed. And you can actually just move the hands and wrists a little bit and let the fingers just be long. We're not stretching anything out like this, nor are we making fists. It's a nice, the kind of relaxed position of the hands as they hang. Okay, then we come up to the head. So the head sitting at the top of the spine. You just let the chin come down very slightly. So again, straightening this curvature in the back of the neck ever so slightly. So if you were to imagine the horizon coming out exactly flat, just look just down slightly. And then rolling the tongue around the mouth, getting in touch with the inside of the mouth. And often we find the saliva flow starting when we begin the Qigong. So just notice that and maybe have a swallow. And as we breathe into Wuji, sometimes you feel a little crack or an adjustment in the spine. It's great. Body just finding its perfectly balanced position. So as we stand here, we go through again, we scan up through the body, readjusting. So the feet, how are they? Are they parallel? How's the weight distributed? Knees soft. The hip sort of hanging open, just turned in very slightly forwards. Nice straight spine, space under the arms. Soft shoulders. Chin very slightly downwards. And as we imagine the soles of the feet connecting to the ground, we imagine the top of the head, the highest part of our body, the crown, the 1,000 meeting points. Just imagine that highest point of your head extending upwards. Up through the ceiling, beyond the clouds, up into the sky. So we're almost like we're being sort of pulled out a little bit. So the feet pushing into the ground, the crown raising up to heaven. A few more breaths. Finding that balance and efficiency in our standing. Great, let's just step out of that. Just a little helper for Wuji standing. Great, thanks very much. Bye-bye.